Hey, okay, so I'm pretty new to this whole video blogging or vlogging, whatever. But anyways, so you may have heard about me. I blog for gridirongirl.org. I blog about LSU. I'm a diehard fan. So basically, I guess I'm just gonna use the blogs that I post on Gridiron Girl and like read them to you, and then until like I get a good idea of like what's better. Like you guys can leave comments like what you want to hear about, but try to say LSU related because that's my main topic. That's what I write about the most. Pretty much anything football though, I am obsessed with and I love it. So basically, the first thing that I just wanted to cover with you guys is how I came to love LSU so much. So I guess I'll just tell you. Alright, so how did I come to love football? First of all, I have three brothers, one older brother and two younger brothers, and mostly uncles and male cousins. I got dragged to tailgates, football games, Super Bowl parties, like to go over to friends' houses and watch football games, like all season long, all that stuff. My older brother was and still is my biggest role model, and especially growing up, he played YAFL, which is Young American Football League, and we grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So if you know about that, that's where he played YAFL. He played for La Cueva West. Anyways, so when we were growing up, he was so passionate about it. Like, he loved football. It was really hard to not start loving football just because he did and how much he was loving it. So I was about 4 or 5 when my mom came to me and said, like, which NFL team do you love the most? And everybody in my family has a different NFL team. Like, my mom loves the Titans, her ex-husband loved the Saints, my youngest brother loves the Ravens, my other young brother loves the Chiefs, my older brother loves the Chiefs, well, the Broncos and the Chiefs, and then I love the Jaguars. So my mom was like, well, which team do you like? When I was about 4 or 5, and naturally, Jacksonville Jaguars, because Jaguars are my favorite animal, and I love the color teal. So pretty much, that's why I chose Jacksonville. About 3 years later, I started learning about college ball. My grandpa took us to some games. My uncles took us to games. And UNM, back when they were a good football team, like a lot better than they have been lately. I guess they're starting to do better, so that's good for them. So that's when I learned about college ball. It's probably about 6 or 7. It was a lot easier to get excited about college ball because we could go to games. Like, we could get really, like, in the hometown spirit. And, like, we lived in a college town. Not really, but kind of. Well, a town with a college and with a big football team, Division I. And I just remember going to the stadium at night for night games, and like the lights in the stadium, and everybody was dressed up in cherry and silver, and just, like howling and screaming and chanting, like everyone's a Lobo, and like it just like everybody got really into it and everybody was passionate about it. And like to most little girls, that's like obnoxious. Like, you don't want to be around football. You want to go play with your Barbies. You want to go do ballet. Like, all that, you want to put makeup on. Like, I was, however, like, obsessed with football immediately. Like, just going to those games at night and like being surrounded by people who felt the exact same way as I did about football, who loved it, who were like, actively involved in football. Like, that was huge to me. Like, I felt like I was at home. So, like, from then on, I shoved headfirst into UNM and K-State. My dad lives in Kansas, and his family is a K-State family. So we used to talk about football, and those are the two teams we talked about the most, UNM and K-State. So my mom's side, UNM, my dad's side, K-State. But I never really, like, got this, like, deep connection to either team. I mean, I loved football no matter what team it was, but my family loved those teams, and I felt like I needed to love them. I just didn't. So it was probably later on when I was about 7, like in that spring, I fell in love with the SEC team that, to this day, has a huge special chunk in my heart. And my uncle spent a lot of time telling me about football and watching it with me and my brother, my oldest brother at the time. and like basically just kind of telling me about like which team was from where, all that kind of information, like information that a little kid will understand, you know, like their mascot, their team colors, like what they're doing and all that. Like basically just this is the offense, this is the defense. They go against each other. Offense is trying to score points, like defense is trying to block them, whatever. Just kind of basic little things that a 7-year-old would understand. However, I came to love LSU by myself. I was far too young to really understand the national titles and the rankings and the divisions, but I love purple, and I have very close ties to my church when I was younger, and when I was very little, I swore to live by the golden rule, and LSU's #1 rule is to love purple and live gold, and I felt like I love the color purple. My mom loves the color purple, so it was also very important to me because of that, and my golden rule at church was living gold. I lived gold by following the golden rule from my church. So I felt like I directly correlated with what LSU was looking for in a fan, you know? Like, they want people who love purple, and I do. And they want people who live gold, and I do. So, like, why would I not love LSU? But I guess it really started to take a few years before I started to see not only had I chosen a team that was part of the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, but also a team that was, and still is, one of the highest ranked NCAA, National Collegiate Athletic Association, football teams in the country. Like, it's one of the tip-top teams. Like, we play to be the best, and we are the best, and we do the best, and, you know, like, we win, and we have very few losses, and the only losses we really have are to bigger teams that are also in the SEC. And like losing to Florida and Alabama, like, yeah, that sucks. But I mean, you're playing against other SEC, and the SEC is one of the largest conferences, most like elite conferences, you know. So I had chosen a team that was like one of the best. Sorry, my puppy is trying to eat my little banana snack. But anyways, like, loving LSU started with, I love tigers. I love, like, jungle cats, jaguars, tigers, panthers, all that stuff. I love it. And I love the colors, and I love the golden rule, and I love purple, and I live gold. So that's where it started, with, like, the simple things. But it has since grown into something bigger and, like, more annoying when I go to parties and people argue with me about football. I get really annoying because I get really into it. I am now, like, obsessed with LSU's rankings and the bragging rights that I get when we plow through, like, 99% of the teams that we're playing. And, like, most of the other sports teams that I love don't always have, like, these really great seasons. Like, my Sharks aren't doing, like, incredibly hot this year in hockey, and the Jaguars obviously don't win every game, and, like, you know, the Charlotte Bobcats are probably one of the worst NBA teams there is, but I still have love for them. But, like, choosing LSU when I was little and continuing to love them now, whether they win or lose, however 90% of the time it's winning, makes me even more of a diehard fan, because it gives me so much pride to be part of a fan base cheering on this team that is incredible. Like, I get so excited screaming "Go Tigers," like, it just pumps my blood up. And I have "Go Tigers" tattooed on my right foot. So I guess I really just want to get to know you guys better, and for you to get to know me and get more involved in my blogging process. I'm really trying to spread the word, not only about my LSU blog, but also just about gridirongirl.org as a whole. Eventually, I would love to work as a PR rep or commentator for football. It's a dream of mine to coach college football, so that's a little bit ridiculous. That's probably never going to happen, but you never know. Like, you never know what will happen in your life, and I will just keep fighting and working and loving gold and loving purple and living gold, and screaming "Go Tigers" until the day comes that I'm a bigger part of that association. So, thanks a lot for joining me and listening to my rant about how I came to love LSU. And just don't ever argue football with me at a party. But But anyways, I'm Kimberly. It's been good meeting you, and follow me, subscribe, I'm going to go ahead and try to post every week. I'm not going to give you a specific day because it might be different every week. I just get caught up with work and stuff, and I'm a junior in college, so it's a little bit tricky. But, follow. Do what you can. And comment. Leave comments. Tell me what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like, your favorite team, why you love your favorite team, all that stuff. Just do it. And then women, go follow gridirongirl.org. Do it. Subscribe today. It's amazing. There are so many women writing for them that are so talented. Like, all the girls writing for them are just, like, so passionate about their teams and their, like, everything. Like, they just love football, and it's a huge honor to even be accepted to get to write for this, like, amazing blog being set up by this amazing lady, Nicole. I love her. Follow us on Twitter. Just, hashtag #GridironGirl. Search it. Find us. We're all on there. There's everybody. We have, like, a pro football blogger. She is awesome. We're pretty tight. Eric's pretty cool. I'll put links to everything in the comments. And, so yeah, pretty much. Thanks for coming. See you next time.